Hello, YouTube, and hello, TikTok. Let's see. Let me make sure I'm getting TikTok correct. Just a sec. Thanks for joining in. Here we go. Okay, thanks for your patience. I haven't ever done TikTok live. This is my first time. So there we go. We're live on TikTok and YouTube. I believe if everything is right. I think it is. Shout out again to my husband for setting this up. It's no easy task. You see these live painting videos and it looks simple, but it's actually not. So hopefully we'll get it down. But this is the second week that I've gone live with my painting, and I had a lot of fun last week. Last week I painted a landscape from Scotland. So what I'm doing is picking these from Google Earth or Google Street View, and as I was painting, somebody requested that I do a landscape from the Philippines. So I found a beautiful spot in the Philippines that we're going to be painting today. And this is 4x6, so it's a tiny landscape, but it will be possibly, if we love the end result, part of my future mail club that actually will be starting tonight or tomorrow. I'm going to launch it. And where you will get a little 4x6 landscape painting in the mail every month, and a little letter and some other fun things. So here we go, another tiny landscape on a Wednesday night, and I'm doing this in gouache. So it is, if you've never used it before, it's the easiest way to describe it is kind of a mix between watercolor and acrylic, because it's water-based, and the more water you add to it, the more transparent it becomes. But you can also paint without water, just use the paint straight from the tube, and that works too. And the nice thing about it, I think, is that you can re-wet the paint. So unlike watercolor, that just, once it's dry, gouache can become wet again, and you can change it up. You can also layer it, which you can't do with watercolor. So in those ways, it's more similar to acrylic. Okay, I'm going to start with the sky, and we're going to use, oh, my kids' toys are in here. Gotta love that. Who even knows what we're going to find, you know? Okay, the brand of gouache that I really like, not sponsored, I just really like this Sui gouache. I have tried other kinds. I have other kinds mixed in here, but that's my favorite. It just is really smooth and easy to work with. And you really only need like the tiniest bit to go a long way, which is awesome. Okay, so I'm going to use that, and usually, good. Did not check that I had my spray bottle, but here it is. Thank goodness. Okay, here we go. So I'm going to use my bigger brush here. Start with some blue in the sky. And I did get it more wet for the sky because we're filling a large space here. So this is a tiny little painting area when you have a microphone and two cameras on. I guess just one camera, but it's a little squeezy in here. I also can't see comments on YouTube, so let me see if I can figure out a way to see them. I don't know, but I would love requests for next week's, or possibly before next week if I can get it together and do another live before then. I would love requests for what I should paint or what landscape I should paint. Probably going to be sticking to landscapes for a little bit, but open to doing other things too. Tell me some pretty part of the world and I will find a spot on Google Earth or Google Street View. Okay, that's pretty wet, so as it dries, it's going to look a lot different than it does right now, which is fine because we're going to paint clouds on top of it. Okay, for this one I'm trying to get like the bottom third to be the land and the top 2/3 to be the sky. Okay. Oh, it's not very straight. All right. Okay, as it dries, just kind of filling it in. Okay. Let me change the light here actually, because there's quite a glare. If I can reach it. Yeah. A little bit. Too dark. I think that's fine. Maybe a little more light. Okay, just a second. I want to see if I can find something to look at YouTube comments. Okay, pulling up my phone. So I'm really excited to start this mail club. I've been working on it I could say the whole year, but I didn't do very much for anything for the I have a baby that he's about to turn 1 in October. And so the first year of baby's life is just gotta go slow. Can't expect too much of yourself. So I've had ideas and they're finally being put into action. But I'm very excited for it to finally start. All right. Sorry, just taking me a second to get set up. I'll try to talk closer to the microphone. Okay, thanks for hanging out. Here we go. Okay, now I have the comments up. Okay, I've got the sky. I don't like that little square shape that's drying, so I kind of once again mix that up. Okay, I'll turn up the microphone a little bit. Is this better? Hopefully that's a little bit better. Okay. Okay, I need to save that for the clouds. It's fine. Okay, we're going to move on to the green. So I usually just block in the main shapes and then come back and do the details. But actually, before the green highlight, I'm going to do this water. I know the picture down there is bigger, obviously, because I'm painting in portrait orientation. So not all of that will be in this, but it's a little more cropped. Okay, so the water's going to be like here. Come down. That's probably a little too far, but that's fine. Okay. Actually like the colors that came through in that. That's what I love about watercolor and gouache is just the unpredictability of it. The way it dries can turn out so cool. All right. So now we will add some green. I'm just going to put this straight on the paper. And wet my brush so it will have a little bit of water, but not too much. This green is the one that comes with the Sui gouache set, and it's a little more blue than yellow. So we'll bring in some yellows though after I just block in the green. And a little more paint. If you're just jumping in, thank you for being here. I'm a little bit new to live streaming, and it feels a little scary, but it's fun. And I've never, like, these are less of here's how to paint this one specific thing because I've never done these paintings before. Like, I've never painted a landscape from the Philippines before. So, some things you are learning right along with me as I figure it out. Last week, I painted some sheep in my painting, and I have never painted sheep before. So, that was a fun experiment. Okay. I know it looks like a 3-year-old painted this. We've got the sky, we've got the ground, we've got the water. Okay. I'm trying to decide if I want to do the clouds first. Might do that. Okay, I'm gonna add. First, I think this guy is just too blue. We're gonna put some white in it. I'm a little nervous about the white being dry. Okay. I bought another tube of white and I don't know where I put it. So we are gonna see what we can do with this tiny little bit of white today. Okay, so before I add the clouds, I'm going to spray this down and mix the white in with the blue just to lighten it up. There we go. My paper's getting pretty wet now and pretty warped. So hopefully it'll dry a little flatter than it is right now. Okay, I don't mind that this is messy because once again, these brush strokes are gonna settle as the paint dries. And if they don't, I like brush strokes. It's all good. Okay. Okay. We will try to do some clouds. Let's see. The clouds in this picture are very cloudy. Like very fluffy. Okay, for this one, where did my towel go? Just a second. So I'm gonna dry off my brush because I want to keep a lot of the white and not let it get too transparent. So I take the strongest part of the white, keep that as kind of the top of the cloud, and then let it fade as it gets lower. So you can see the highlights. This blue is still really blue, but that's okay. I've watched so many videos on how to paint good clouds, and I can't figure out like one good right way to do it. So this is the way I do it. And I like it so far. It's working. But that's the thing about painting is that it's just paint and paper and there's no actual rules on what's right. Which is fun. There are rules on making something look more realistic, but as far as making a good painting, you don't have to follow any rules. Okay, I want the clouds to go all the way down to the horizon line. We are going to add some distant mountains there, so they'll be covered up a little bit, but we are going to put some down here. with whatever white I can get out of this tube, we will come back and make them even brighter. Okay, like I said, it doesn't have to go straight all the way down to the green because we're going to be covering that up with mountains. All right, I am going to add some light here. Just the tops. Just make it fluffier. Clouds are just the best. Okay. When I paint, I don't use the photo reference or picture reference exactly. I just kind of use it to base my painting off of. So obviously my clouds are not going to be the exact same shape as what's in the picture, but the idea of them is similar. Okay, how's my microphone volume? Tell me if you can't hear me. I will turn it up. I guess if you can't hear me, you can't tell me that you can't hear me, but hopefully you can hear me. Okay, probably should save some white in case we need it in a different spot of this painting. Okay, we'll stop there with the clouds for now. All right. And it looks kind of funny, the cutoff right here, but I think once we take the tape off, it's all going to be fine. Okay, so we will come back. So the most distant part of the painting needs to look less saturated, more dull. I just realized the TikTok is like in reverse. It's interesting. It's not a bad thing, but it looks like I'm painting with my left hand. I'm right-handed. Anyway, that's fine. Okay. So what I was saying was, as you can see in the little reference photo there, kind of, it's so small, but the mountains in the back look kind of more gray blue, and then the grass and shrubs in the front are a deeper green. So we're going to start in the back and move towards the front. And let's see, I'm actually going to start with blue and a little green on top of it. See how that goes. Like I said, I just kind of try things out until they work, and you get to figure it out with me. So we're going to be mixing that blue with this green, which is already kind of muted in blue. But I think we might need a little more grayish purple. I don't want to add actual purple. Not yet, at least. We'll see how this goes. Okay. Maybe not green enough. Okay, we want the tops to look kind of jagged. There's a peak kind of right there. It's so fun to look up these places on Google Earth. Like, I can't travel to all of them in my lifetime, but it's fun to just see what they look like and realize how much beauty there is. Okay, I'm going to mix that blue in a little more. It's less green, more blue. And sharpen this edge a little. I don't have the most precise brush for doing that, but it's not really my style to be super tiny detailed. Okay. I'm realizing this kind of actually comes down to the water. It's just going to be like layered hills until they get down here. And then there's even more distant peaks back there that look almost white. So I might just use the white right there, wet the brush. I just sprayed my brush, and then, yeah, kind of use that to make that little mountain behind. There we go. Maybe some more of those over here. Just add some layers. Okay. All right. I think we might need, let's see. Find the best way. Maybe brown might be a good choice to dull them out a little bit. I'm scared to try it. It's just going to be a tiny bit. Okay, I think that will help. So the reason I'm adding brown is because it does have some red in it, and green and red are opposites on the color wheel, and so they will mute each other out. They'll make the green look more muddy, which is a good thing in this case because it's in the background. This location is the Philippines, and I already forgot what it's called. I'm gonna not say it right. Vayong Rolling Hills. Not Bay. I think it's Vayong. I could be wrong. Something that starts with the V, Rolling Hills, and it's like a tiny island. I was just looking up pretty places in the Philippines, and this one came up, and then I saw it and said, yes, I'm gonna paint that one. I'm all for rolling hills. That was a lot of brown. That's fine. Okay. All right, then just like more diagonal lines, we'll add more layers of hills. Do some more green. I don't want to add too deep of green yet because we want to save that for the front. I think, well, maybe it's fine. We're going to add more yellows toward the front. So I might add a little bit of this darker green right here. Mix it in. I forgot to play music. That's what we're missing. I'll do that in a second. Okay, yeah, this is a good green. Okay, so with this green, I'm going to make these ones that reach to the water. Okay, here. Oh, wait, I can't play music. What device should I play it on? Just a sec. Okay, I'm glad this microphone's working better. I just also don't talk very loud. All right. All right, let's call for music requests. I'm gonna pick one. Is this one I did last time? Might be. Let me turn it down a little bit. I know that's loud. There we go. I like this. How's the music? Too loud? Too quiet? Okay. Hopefully it's good. Okay, one thing I do want to be pretty straight is this line against the water. Okay, so with each new shade of green that comes out of my paint colors, just adding these diagonal lines to make them look like hills. Then blending that with the other greens, but having those highlights and shadows right where those hills cross over each other. Nice. All right. Okay, here's where the more yellowy greens are going to come in. That's the only negative side of this Sui gouache is that it doesn't have the brightest of yellows. It comes with this one yellow, which I didn't put the lid on once again. It's called baby yellow, and it's almost gone. Anyway, it's not very bright. It's more like a white yellow. So I did get some other yellow just to supplement, especially for the greens because they're so cool toned and I like warm tone things. And I also got this massive green. I told the story in the last one. I was ordering gouache on Amazon and this was the same price as the small tubes. So I just assumed it was small tube. I didn't look at the size, but look how big it is. It's huge. This isn't like acrylic paint where you're using tons of it. It's just, you only need a few drops. And so, good thing I like this green color. Okay. All right. So you can see the most yellowy spot, point to the picture, is the middle because it looks like that's where the sun is. And then there's some shadows in the front, which is kind of cool. But right now I'm just going to paint all of this and then I'll add the more yellow into the shadowy or the bright spot where the sun is shining. This gouache is a different brand and it's more watery. I didn't add any water to this. That's just the way it's coming out. So if you like that, I guess this Elan, I don't know, Ellen, ELAN. It's good. It's just less opaque. More opaque? Less. Okay. So today, my adventure of the day. Well, I have 4 kids, so every day is an adventure. But I wear glasses. I feel like I'm still new to glasses, but I realize I've been wearing them for like 5 years probably. But they still feel like something I'm not used to. And our insurance covers like basically a pair of glasses every year, and it renews next month. And so like I need to pick out my pair of glasses for the year. And it's so hard to pick a pair of glasses. It's hard to, it's something you wear every day. You want to love them. And went to go try some on with my toddler and baby. So that was fun. And then realized that the ones I liked are not covered by the insurance. And so, anyway, it's this whole thing that shouldn't be as hard as it is, but it just feels like a big decision to make. Oh no. I just got some green in the cloud. Okay. All right, not the end of the world. You can see it, but I'm going to come back and uncover it. It's okay. People who do watercolor, you're amazing, because I know mistakes are not as easy to correct in watercolor. I do use watercolor when I do live guest painting, and that's fun. But I don't use very much of it, so it's not incredibly stressful. Okay. Right now, all these greens are looking much too like each other. So that's what I think we're going to spend the majority of the time on, is just these greens. A lot of greens. Okay, so here we go with some yellow. I'm going to add this, and we're going to mix it all together. Oh no, it's so dry. Well, I don't know how it got so dry. See if I can spray right into the tube and get some out. There we go. And not very much. I don't know if any other artists are like me, where I just am like not organized, and I forget to. I did put the lid on. I don't know. Must not have been tight enough, but like washing brushes and lids and all that, like sometimes I do forget. And my desk is always messy. Can't find anything. I'm just not a naturally organized person, but I try. Okay, so even these have more peaks than I am giving them. So we want this front area to look like hills too. Yeah. All right, that yellow is already helping to separate the foreground from the background. So subtle little differences make a big change in how you can see it. I just noticed there's a cute little, looks like a moose in the front of this landscape, which I'm sure you can't see from your view because it's so teeny tiny, but he will not be in this painting. I got brave enough to paint sheep last week, but I'm not not ready for a moose this week. I don't think that's the vibe I'm going for. Okay. All right. I think we're going to come back in with this, if I can get any out. This teeny little very light yellow. Just add some highlights. Maybe. Okay, maybe not. Once again, I'm just spraying the tube and getting whatever paint wet that I can get off. Short on yellows and whites, and I use those a lot, which I guess is probably why I'm always short on them. But hey, it's enough. Like we went from like acoustic folk to I don't know what this music is, but it's fine. I think what really defines these hills is the trees. So that'll help once we add those. Don't mind me over here trying to squeeze every drop of paint out of this tube. Okay, so even these mountains in the back have a little bit of sun on them. Just like the clouds, we start with that highlight line and then blend it as it goes down. Is this song going? I think sometimes it's easy to like get scared of contrast in paintings. Like you add highlights and it feels like too much, but then if you take a step back and look at it, the highlights add so much, and like it's tempting to just blend them right back in. But I think if you leave them, the painting comes out so much better, in my opinion. If you're going for a blended look, that's great, but the highlights just add so much depth. Same with the shadows. Like, don't be afraid of that contrast. Okay, I'm gonna do the darker green up here. It's like closest hill that we've got. Wet my brush. So smooth that color out more. Definitely be adding some yellow into that, even though it's darker. Right now it's a little too dark. Maybe instead of the yellow, let's add this lighter green. One thing to pay attention to is just the angles of the mountains. Like, see, I don't want this line to parallel this one. So I'm trying to, yeah, just make it more flat so that they don't take away from each other, I guess. You want your eye to move around the painting and not just see this parallel line right there. All right. Now as much yellow as I can get onto that hill. Keep it darker, but not too dark. As I just said, to not be afraid of contrast, but you know, sometimes it can be too much. Same thing here. I don't want these to look like boom, 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 same width of different shades of green, same angles. So I think I'm going to bring this hill top up a little bit. Just to kind of stagger the heights and angles that you see. Okay. A little more highlights, and then we're going to move on to the little trees. Hey, thanks for joining again. Doing the Philippines. Thank you for being here. I tried to schedule this live on my channel today, but I did it from my phone. And apparently, live mobile is different than live desktop. So I had to delete that one and start a new one. So I don't know if anybody saved it and didn't get notified because we had to start over. We're learning. That's okay. All right, 1 second. Hope. Okay, we're gonna add. Actually, I don't know. Is it light enough? The thing is, once I start adding the trees, it'll be harder to nail down these colors because I don't want to like add more green around the trees or whatever. So I do want to make sure they're light enough, bright enough, whatever colors I am feeling they need to be before I put trees in. Okay, so I'm going to add some yellows. This is a sunny, happy day. So we like yellow. Not too much yellow on these back mountains, but a little bit never hurt anyone, right? Kind of ties it together. Okay. All right, that really brightened it up. Okay. I feel like there's kind of a weird shadow. Is it me? So, okay. Microphone? I don't know. I think it's just how wet the paint is right here. Like it's giving a weird shadow, but there's not such a like stark line right there. As it dries, it'll look better. Okay. So now, yeah, let's do some trees and then we'll come back in and fix this green spot that I accidentally put in the cloud. Oh, thank you. Thanks for commenting on my clouds. Fluffy clouds are the best. Okay. And then we will maybe add a little bit of highlights to the water. Again, I kind of really like how the water dried, so I might not touch it. But we'll do some trees just to show the shapes of the landscapes. It's so small, you can see, but yeah, the trees really kind of show where the hills are a little bit better. And then, yeah, fix up the sky a little. That's the plan. Here we go. For the trees, I'm going to use this dark green. They all are pretty much the same color. Might add some shadows and highlights on them, but we'll start with some dark green blobs. All right. Okay. It's really just a breathtaking spot that I did not know existed until tonight. Hopefully, they can travel to more of these places. I'm just going right along this hill line and adding small trees and shrubs. And then some in the front as well. I need more requests for what to paint next week, like a country or a state or a national park or something, and then I can find a pretty spot to paint. Just been using Google Earth. So these blobs will be a little smaller than those blobs because the trees are further away. Just have to remind myself to change the size of them. Yeah, I think those ones will need a little bit of highlights just to make them a little brighter since they're in the sun than these trees in the front. And then I don't want to add too much back here, but let's add a little bit of dark green Anyway, define these even more. Okay. All right, I'm gonna add a little bit of this, very light yellow to the more distant trees. Just soften them, lighten them, make them look like the sun is shining on them. Okay, and then just kind of blending them in so they look less like spotty, if that makes any sense. Okay, she's asking, have you heard of the Caño Cristales in Colombia? Ooh, it's a beautiful and colorful river. That sounds like an amazing place. I will definitely look it up. That could be next week. Thank you for the suggestion. And if you paint it, I want to see. So many pretty places. So many. Okay, I don't want to do too much to this because I like how it's turning out. But I do want to, yeah, fix up those clouds with whatever white I have left. I kind of wish I had done the sky a little bit less blue, to be honest. But I don't have that much white to change that. So, okay, I forgot I had this other orangey yellow I could use. I'm not going to add that now. That would mess it up. The bright yellow is good for this sunshiny tropical place. All right. Let's do. I always like see little things that I want to fix, but they don't really need to be fixed, you know? Just my style to like want the edges to be softer. Okay. And then, yeah, let's add some white if we can. At the beginning, I was talking about how I still can't find my new white tube of paint that I bought, and I need to get another one still. But I'm just the one I have is also kind of dry, so just have a tiny bit of white. But I got a little bit of green in the clouds, so we're gonna fix it. All right, the riverbed. The aquatic plants give it its rainbow color. That's so cool. I can't wait to look it up. Okay. There's nothing left in here. But I have to cover this spot. Okay, got this. Okay. Just trying to squeeze the paint. Oh, I'm glad I'm not the only one who runs out of white. Seriously, I need not a huge tube of green paint. I need a huge tube of white paint because yeah, it's never enough. Okay, maybe I got enough. Nope. I might be stuck with this green cloud tonight. It's not very noticeable, honestly. Even if I left it there, it wouldn't be a big deal, but I just need a tiny bit. Just a second. TikTok's trying to ask me something. Okay. I don't know. Well, okay, wait. There's just some dried paint at the top. Maybe it'll. Okay, we got some. Yay. All as well. Covered up the green spot that accidentally happened. Okay, while I have a tiny bit of white, I don't want to waste it. Just making these highlights a little more like little peaks in the cloud, I guess. Less flat, more fluffy. A whole gallon of white paint, yes. For real. Okay. I was gonna add, oh, I'm afraid, especially with so little white, I want to add some highlights in the water, but how should I do it? Okay, I'm gonna add a little bit. I can always get it more wet. Yes, okay, glad I did. I like that. It just makes it look a little more like sparkly. What is my favorite color? It's a good question. I think it changes. I really love, I mean, if anybody asked my favorite color, it's like gray blue. I think everything I paint usually has like kind of a grayish blue in it. But tonight, this has a bright blue because I'm out of white paint. I also love, I just love warm tones. So yeah, like adding yellow. I wouldn't say yellow is my favorite color, but using it as undertones or just like highlights, I love doing that. And then adding touches of pink, like and any flowers can add so much. No, I think kind of muted colors are generally my favorite. This is a brighter painting, but thanks for asking. And yeah, I think I use a lot of blue, pink, and yellow, I guess. Like Easter spring shades. Yes, I love green too. Especially use a lot of green in landscapes. Yeah, like my paintbrush. Gray blue like that. Kind of like a rainy day. Okay, I think we're gonna call it good tonight. We're gonna take off the tape. This was much faster than last week because, well, maybe it wasn't. Maybe it was long. But I feel like the sheep took me so long last time. Okay. Most satisfying part. Except for I just messed up. The tape didn't even come off straight right there. Pretend you didn't see that. There we go. All right, here we have our Philippines hills. Now it's ripping the paper. don't want that. Not my best tape job. Okay. I kind of like the natural edges. Here it is. Yay. I should have brought my other one from last week. It's all framed and looks so cute in the frame. But next week I can show you that one and this one in their frames. And it's done. Yes, peeling the tape is the best part. Just makes, yeah, it makes it look so clean and so satisfying. All right. Any other questions? I don't know if I can see TikTok. Oh, yeah, I can. Just a sec. Thank you for hanging out with me tonight and watching me paint. Oh, okay. I think the TikTok ended. That's all right. Yeah, this was fun. Thanks. And hopefully I'll do it again next Wednesday. Yes, I would love for you to be my painting buddy next week. That would be awesome. Thanks again for joining. You're the best. And hope you have a great week. And I'll see you next week. Yeah, I'm on TikTok. I don't know if I'm still live. I don't think so. TikTok as Arizona Wedding Painter. Arizona Live Wedding Painter. I don't think I'm still on. I think I posted. I'll just have to send her a message. Sorry. I think I'm done, right?
Are you still live?
Oh, I'm still live? Thought I ended the stream. Oh, nope, I'm still live. Okay, good. Yes. My TikTok is I think it's AZ underscore live underscore wedding underscore painter, I believe. Look up Arizona live wedding painter. And I think you'll find me. Yeah, Arizona. Oh, az.live.wedding.painter. Yep. And this was my first TikTok live. All right. Now I will end the stream. Thank you again for hanging out.